Welcome to the Evening Gamer. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Guy.
And that's Kyle. Go on.
Yes, and I'm Kyle. Off to a flyer.
Yeah, you just stole his thunder.
I don't know. Just doing the intro, the panel intro. First party up episode. We've actually got a studio full of 5 people. Girlfriends are here.
We've got a live audience.
Quite the family affair.
I know, eh?
Got the missus here. New and old. Not that you're old, Alex. Oh God.
The new and old implies it's just one of our exes and a new girlfriend.
So Kyle is my brother. We brought Kyle on today to talk about The Legend of Zelda because we've been playing Zelda since late 90s, I reckon. Ocarina of Time into Majora's Mask, and then the latest. Went through a Wii phase there with Zelda as well.
Which was terrible.
There are a few. I thought they were all right.
On the Wii, I don't know.
You don't have many good things to say about Zelda today, do you?
No, I absolutely do. But I found on the Wii, we'll go off on a tangent here, but with the stick and shaking it to swing your sword, it took away from the immersion of the game when it was
does a little
going
bit
through that phase. But
yeah,
I'm not a fan of games you have to play standing up either. That's not a thing for me.
Yeah, gaming's meant to be relaxing.
It is.
Yeah, but I mean that was the whole Wii shtick, you know.
Yeah. Well, we spoke about this in a couple of episodes ago. Is that the Wii reinvented wand gaming?
Yeah.
Not for the better, because a lot of fucking screens got broken.
It did.
I think everyone just realised that it wasn't the future of gaming and quickly reverted back to controllers and M&K.
The old Wii Fit tried to sneak in there.
Yeah, I mean the Switch does
and
have...
the only people doing Wii Fit were
little...
fit people already.
With the Switch controllers, it's got you can click it into the thingy, but like when you had it on the stand, is there any like pointer element to it? Or
no. They had the steering wheel that you could click it into. I don't think they had anything else.
Oh, okay.
I think it was the wand and the steering wheel for...
There's a contraption inside where you can kind of control your aiming through the tilt of the controller, that's good.
Yeah, right. You might want to hold your mic a bit closer to your mouth, my friend.
Does it need to be like up here?
He's a podcast rookie.
I am.
He's also got no cover on his mic. Like I don't think we have any correct me if I'm wrongs.
We don't.
Kind of finding our feet with this party up episode.
Well, because I mean that was a rant where we weren't exactly doing specific to a game. It was just more ranting about a topic.
No corrections that you've changed since?
No, nothing like that. You guys have been watching The Boys? I'm not up to speed.
Yeah, I've finished it. We finished it. I remember Carl saying there were certain sequences that really turned your stomach when he was sort of murdering his handlers. And I got to that part and I was like, not that bad.
Maybe I overplayed it, but for me, like, I used to be so, violence I could not handle. And then over the years, I remember you introduced me to The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And I completely... Yeah, great show. Oh, well, it's still going, so who knows if it's still great. But
no, they've just got the spin-offs now.
Apparently the new spin-off is actually not bad.
I was watching an episode of it last night. It actually looks
The Fear the Walking Dead, not so much, but there's the other one. They've brought Rick back and Michonne and the spin-off there. And people say it's actually pretty good.
Yeah. It's got the chick from Taken in it. Is that the right one?
I don't know. Michonne?
Remember the daughter from Taken? Liam Neeson's daughter. She's
whatever, yeah.
And then I have completely done a 180 on that, and now does love violence. I get my
on TV, of course.
Violence bonus.
I thought you were,
but the thing I don't like is the emotional aspect to violence. I always empathetically kind of put myself in the victim's shoes, and I hate that. And when I was watching Homelander, just through the calmness and psychopathic nature of his character, do that to those people. It put me off the show. I was like, this is a lot, guys. Holy crap. But it rescued it on the
what did you like about the finale? What did you like about the finale?
Well, now I have to remember what actually happened.
But you come to expect that from Homelander. They set up that character.
But also, I didn't find it that bad because those people, his handlers, abused him as a child, and did nasty things to him, put him in their hot rooms and all that. Yeah, so there was an element of just you're getting your just desserts here. You deserve the punishment you're getting in a way. Yes. No matter how it was very sadistic.
I don't know if anyone deserves their brain to be melted.
Well, no, but I mean, you haven't seen it. It's not even
I can
just
only imagine.
It's not even just him laser eyeballing. At one point, he makes a dude masturbate in front of him and then lasers his dick off.
And we're off.
Yeah, it's violent.
Intense.
Yeah, it's intense.
But the finale, the character arc of Butcher, that was quite satisfying to see him come in and just be like, you know what, I'm done trying to, or I'm done grappling with these two options of the moral high ground versus just fuck everything up.
Yeah.
He's gone with the fuck everything up.
I know. I like it, to be honest, like the ending, I thought that, okay, he walks in, he's got his power, just murders that chick. And I was like, okay, like, I don't really understand why he chose to do that. And the same with his son of being like...
There's a lot of half spoilers in here.
Yeah, there is. Sorry, everybody. Yeah, we're just ruining the show
it's
for
still
listeners.
pretty generic, like that chick.
Yeah, it's a bit vague.
No, yeah, I know.
But what he did to Homelander's son of trying to like coerce him into going with the Mallory woman and being trained by her kind of thing, and the kid realizes it's like a secure room and she was going to hit the button. It's like, what world did you ever think that was going to go well?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
It was desperation at that point. That was him still trying to do the right thing, or the path of the least kind of violence, least resistance. And then when it fell through, that's when his character flipped and said, well, we've got no choice now.
Yeah.
So he comes back, and then him killing that woman is
why did he do that?
Well, it's him just saying that's it, I'm done. They're all going, anyone who stands in my way, or I even consider could stand in my way, I'm just not going to let that happen.
I am interested to see how the assistant Ashley gets her powers.
She's still in it.
Yeah.
Mate, she's had a rough go.
Well, she got fucking hostile takeover, fired, rehired.
Yeah.
Trying to select new heroes for the 6.
Yeah.
That didn't go well. Homelander was having none of that.
The whole sex dungeon sequence as well.
What?
That was weird.
What the fuck?
Mate, this season got wild.
It does.
Every season's wild. Like, last season there was the sex orgy party sequence. Do you remember that one?
I feel like they sit around their writing table and like,
I mean, the comics.
How do we amp this up again?
Yeah.
Sex dungeons.
I'm into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
I think even practically.
Push the envelope. Like, go for it.
Yeah.
And this is what I love about streaming TV is that they have the platform to do that. Can you imagine if this was on like free to air TV back in the...
It's just on Fox. Yeah, we wouldn't get anything.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it'd be cancelled after a single episode. They'd be like, how did this even get through?
Greenlit, yeah.
I also like the narrative behind it that's like, because so many superhero films and those TV shows, they're always cookie cutter, which is why I liked Invincible so much, because it wasn't like that.
Yeah. Did I recommend that one for you?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Have you watched it?
No,
it's so good.
You'd really like it. Yeah, it's like
so
good animation, and like fucking super violent as well.
But like,
boys.
who Homelander embodies is Superman, right? Man of Steel, good guy,
Yeah.
fucking good guy, top bloke, Superman. Except they went the other way with it.
Yeah,
which I'm a big fan.
But I mean, like, it's such an obvious step of going. Humans are not perfect people. Like, they've got vices, weaknesses, all the rest of it. And if somebody gets superpowers, of course you're going to be fucked up.
You're always going to have a bad egg.
Yeah, you're going to look down on anybody else and just be like, you're nothing to me now.
Yeah.
Like, get a superiority complex.
And they also played off the conundrum that Starlight had, especially in season 1, of trying to be the good one.
Yeah.
And being thrusted into that environment and the juxtaposition between those two was a great narrative.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Good show.
I need to fucking catch up. Legend of Zelda. Everything Legend of Zelda today. Now, I've done not much research because I've just become the tech guy. I've discovered.
Doing a great job, by the way.
You're doing a fantastic job.
Thank you. And you've done...
I'm going to do the setup, and then we're going to throw to Kyle to give the ratings. So Kyle will give the ratings.
How are we
going to
do this though? Because we're going to talk about the franchise as a whole, right? This is a
we'll
90s
discuss generally the franchise to start
Nintendo
with,
64,
and then go into Tears of the Kingdom because it is obviously the most recent one, and Kyle has played it. Have you finished it?
Let's just skip the Wii ones.
Finish it.
I don't even remember one of the titles.
Let's not talk too deep on that. So, Legend of Zelda, as we all know, Nintendo game, one of their marquee, one that's probably put them on the map significantly so.
On the radar and been there ever since.
Yeah, 1986, Legend of Zelda, went through. There's been a number of standout ones. 1998 was the Ocarina of Time.
There was one on the Game Boy. I remember playing one on a Game Boy Color.
There's been a fair few spin-offs, but I've just honed in on the major ones. Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, obviously Breath of the Wild in 2017, and then 2023, Tears of the Kingdom. The units sold, Ocarina of Time, 14 million. Breath of the Wild was 33. Tears of the Kingdom is up to 19 million units sold. And the ratings, some of them have gone as high as 99 for Ocarina of Time. Like, a lot of people put Ocarina of Time close to top 5, top 10 game of all time. It was such a groundbreaking game.
Yeah. Why do you think there was a drop off from Breath of the Wild to Tears of the Kingdom? Because for me, that's a natural progression of games. If you played Breath of the Wild, why wouldn't you play a sequel? Like, there's a $12 million $12 million player-based drop-off there.
I mean, obviously the length of time it's been out, the fact that Breath of the Wild came out with the Switch, and it was sort of the the major. Like, I bought a Switch to play that game.
Yeah, true.
And I think, but the other reason is that Tears of the Kingdom, as I think we're going to discuss with Kyle, does look like it's like a DLC.
Yeah.
Like, it's like Breath of the Wild is different from maybe a Twilight Princess. How significant of a gear shift that is, of like how open world it was, how creative you could be in it. It was just a huge release.
But to me, Breath of the Wild doesn't seem like a game that would turn you off a franchise. It seems like it would get you excited for what's to come.
Correct. But then, the next things they bring out is just more of the same.
Yeah. Is it though?
It feels like it is. Obviously, the changes, as Kyle's going to discuss, is they bring in that gear shift or whatever it was, the new thingy to combine things.
Yeah, what item joining kind of mechanic where, that did unlock like a lot of creativity within the game, but that's what it was. It was within a game that was largely similar to the Breath of the Wild. Yeah. When you look at the Breath of the Wild, it was groundbreaking in where it was taking the Zelda franchise.
First open world kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, you could argue that there was open world elements to their older games, but it was still kind of a little bit tunnel vision, a little bit linear in their storyline. But with Breath of the Wild, it completely opened it up. It was completely new for the Zelda franchise, and that's why people were excited about it.
True.
But you can't just then hook onto that excitement to last you through into your next release. There needs to be something more or completely different that re-engages that audience, and I think that's probably my best explanation as to why.
Especially if it's the identical map. I know they did the underground and they did the above, but if the actual outdoor area, the open world main section, is identical to its predecessor, it's a copy-paste. It's almost what Ubisoft does, where they just flipped the map on a game once, and then re-released it and was like, oh, now we're prehistoric or something.
Yeah, but the new story that they had, you can't have that as a sequel without having Hyrule as it was in Breath of the Wild. And when you think of the variations that they had, he gets a robotic arm. There's now 3 levels to the map. So there's a sky, there's the ground, and then there's the underground. There's new enemy builds. They continue to build on the old enemy builds that they had. There's new stories, side quests. Like, that doesn't sound DLC to me. That sounds full fucking new game, and as much of a pivot as you can possibly do whilst maintaining the same map. And they destroyed the fucking map, to be fair. Like, you think of Elden Ring, after you beat Radahn, what happens, right? They explode the entire middle of that map. It's exactly the same thing that they did in Tears of the Kingdom.
But the parallels I draw with this is
which is symbolic in a way, Guy. Haven't finished my point, thank you.
Sorry.
Which it sounded like I had. Which is symbolic in a way, almost like as if they're like, out with the old, in with the new. Let's destroy an element of this.
So, but let's do the parallels between Elden Ring and this game of saying, so Breath of the Wild is Elden Ring, and then the DLC or the expansion they just released, let's compare that to Tears of Kingdom. Yep. And basically, all your points you just said there, new enemies, some new areas, but it is still the core base, code just added onto is the argument.
So then you think Shadow of the Erdtree has been a glowing success.
Yeah.
Why hasn't Tears of the Kingdom then?
Well, I think it has been. I mean, it's rated almost the same as Breath of the Wild, very high. So I don't think we're shitting on it too hard to be like, just because they did more of the same, it inherently then is a negative. It's, I mean, it was 6 years later. I think maybe some people thought that there would be a bit more change, maybe, and I don't know, but there was apparently enough for a lot of people. So, I mean, I haven't played it.
I know you have a lot to say about especially the world build.
Yes, well, look, it's largely the same. So I think initially when you jump into this world, you soon realize there isn't that element of this huge discovery that you felt with Breath of the Wild. Sure, there's the islands that are now existing in the sky.
Yeah.
And you can jump around those, but
at least they start you in the sky.
Yeah.
At least your first interaction with the game, it's not like you're in fucking Kakariko and you're like, I've been here before. At least they start you in the sky and they're like, hey, here's where this starts. Here's where this story starts. And you actually don't find your way down into Hyrule until maybe, 4 or 5 hours of gameplay?
Yeah,
so
possibly.
Like, we were talking about UI and menus in Rant and opening experiences and cinematics and all these type of things, and how important it is. I mean, they nailed that.
They start you off in the sky. That is good. And there is that element there. Once you get down, and you need to go down to continue that storyline. I don't know if it's quite that long, but you do. And you almost want to rush down because the sky does get a little bit repetitive after a while.
That's
you
actually
get down, and then you don't have that exploration kind of element that you did prior. You're not going around and being like, holy shit, look at this new thing, look at this new enemy, look at this new area I can explore. You go to whatever area and you think, okay, this is in the same place as it was last time. It looks pretty much the same.
Did it wig you out at all when you first started? Because you know what they did do? They inverted the whole map. So like north to Kakariko wasn't the same north, and you had to actually find your way there again. So they did invert a lot of areas.
I don't remember that ever kind of throwing me off, because I remember like the volcano where the Gorons are. That's in the exact same spot. That's kind of like the northeast part of the map.
Yeah.
Same with the. I should probably have looked up the names
Rito.
of these. Yeah, the Rito civilization. So all of those, and the Gerudos are down south in the desert. So possibly they've shifted, made minor changes to the locations, but
you're right though. They would have saved quite a bit on it. A bit of a copy and paste there.
And I think that like just out of the gates, that's what kind of irked me. And then look, yes, there are new areas. The underground area at first was like, okay, there's something different here. It's all dark. I need to figure out how to light this place up. Yeah. I need to manage my way through, come across these enemies and find the next kind of checkpoint area. But then again, that area was so expansive.
It was, and it was very hilly.
Again, after a while, it was just what I've just said on repeat, doing that, getting to the next checkpoint, dealing with the next enemies, lighting up the next place, and there wasn't enough kind of storyline or reward behind those activities to make me feel excited about continuing to do it.
Yeah, I get that. This is another point that we could talk about: is how much gaming outside of the actual game do you do? Do you know what I mean? Like you've just said, there's not enough storyline to continue engagement on the underground. See, for me, I fucking love that. I love that there's corners and dark shadows that the game's not taking me to that I need to explore myself. And that's why I liked what they did with the map. And yes, it was very difficult to scale and navigate. Like so, especially once you'd started unlocking parts of that map, you'd be like, oh, just go this way. And you'd run into a fucking huge wall that would pretty much go back up to ground level. And you're like, I actually can't.
That pissed me. Holy shit, that pissed me off.
I can't access that area.
And then you look at the map and you think, I don't fucking know how to get through this wall. And there's no way through. Where do you go?
One thing that they could have done as well is building was a huge part of this game. You could build different like vehicles and stuff with all that, with the arm that you had, you know what I mean, with the Zonai devices. I actually didn't find they integrated that very well because you couldn't use them that well.
The devices,
combining
things.
The terrain never really allowed you to use them that well, especially where they were most relevant, which was underground. Yeah. Hey man, there's a lot of nuances in this discussion. This is what the podcast's all about. Because I was never able to use them incredibly well underground, which is where they were meant to be used.
To be fair, I actually had a bit of enjoyment from that because you'd build like a little hovercraft or something, and you'd be like, "Oh God, I'm making time." And you've like, I'm gonna amp this up to the nth degree. Put like 6 rockets on the back of this thing, and you're flying through. But then there's this little pebble that you'll come across. Yeah, it'll. Flick you off into like an enemy or off a cliff or something like that, and everything, and then Zelda's just been in a car wreck. Yeah, and have you seen underground? The Reddit page it's dark, and you think, oh, this guy's in all sorts now.
The amount of times I'd spend like 10 minutes crafting like a fucking plane. Like, it's dark down here. I put a light on the front of it, and then you start flying, and you just hit a brick wall like 2 seconds after start, and you're like, that was a fucking waste of time.
Does the whole plane disintegrate? And just
that was a complete waste of time. And it like comes back to the point of like, it's in the journey, not the destination.
Those lights at the front of those could have been a bit better. A little bit more of a far-reaching visibility.
Yeah, 100%.
Tool would have been great, like a little Rudolph at the front of your...
But I also think that's where they wanted to take the game. They wanted to be like, let's not make this all sunshine and rainbows, because Breath of the Wild was 100% like that. It was a very stunning game. Right, the visuals were amazing. Its storyline from start to finish was uppity up. I think they made the underground to be like, let's take this to a bit more of a gothic overtone. Let's take this to a place where maybe our gamers don't feel safe in the wild the whole time. Let's make it really, really dark. Let's put some ominous creatures down there, like those fucking huge toads. Like you could just be walking around and all of a sudden get swallowed by a huge toad motherfucking.
They were quite annoying to fight, those toads. Because you needed to hit them in the eye, and they were moving everywhere. Yeah, it was a bit of a,
for me,
hope type thing.
The thing that I don't find challenging about Zelda games for me is there's a formula how to fight every boss, which every game isn't like that. Like Elden Ring, you need a bit of luck, great dodging. Zelda, it's always like, oh, if you just wait until it cues its move and you jump off its tail, then you can go in the air, be airborne and shoot in the eye. Like the formula's there, it makes sense.
It's a very quick journey from, or at least, you know, once you get to that level where you've got strong enough weapons, your life is big enough that you can then withstand a few hits. Once you get there, you can take out everything in the game.
And here's a talking point is I don't find games that you can pause in challenging. Because like, you know what you could do in Zelda? If you copped a big hit and you lost a lot of hearts, you could just pause, craft a fucking hearty truffle or 10 of them. And just the next time you got low again, just pause again.
Yeah. Can you craft those? Like
or whatever.
Fire?
Or just eat,
you know, like whatever it might be.
You can also just teleport out of there. Be like, this is, I'm out.
Do you know how many apples? Excuse me. Do you know how many apples I had at one point? I had like 1,000 apples.
That's just entirely too many apples.
Just spam eat apples.
How long are you running around?
Hey man,
that's 980 more apples than you need.
On Satori Mountain, there's this whole apple grove, and I just spent like an hour cutting down trees and picking up apples.
I'm just picturing Taylor like he's going into a weekend, and we're like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I've got 1,000 apples to cook.
I'm hitting the orchard, fellas.
But like,
I'm going to cook them so they can give me an extra half heart container on Zelda."
That's the thing, though.
And that's my Friday night, guys. Yeah.
But that's my point.
That's how exciting.
That's my point. You think I've got these amazing recipes, these truffles that can give me 10 extra hearts. But man, if you have 1,000 apples, you are fucking unstoppable.
I'm still unclear as to why we have 1,000 apples.
Because they just give you
I really
hearts.
want to drill into this.
Man, you
get really weighing Zelda down.
You get wallets. You get wallets, right? Apples. You got 1 HP, and you go, I've got apples, man. So you just pause. You eat 50 apples. Strength of a lion again.
Writes a review. I hated the game because I spent the whole time running around gathering apples.
Loved the game.
Maybe don't do that.
Because I went around harvesting apples.
They should call the game Apple Picker.
Hey man, you never know when you need an apple in that game.
Apparently
you want to find a Korok seed?
So
drop a fucking apple in a basket, mate. You got a fucking Korok seed. I'm telling you, apples overlooked in. It's just Tears of the Kingdom, Apples of the Kingdom. Apples, Zelda, The Legend of Zelda, Apples of the Kingdom.
I don't know if there's 1,000 trees.
I'm going to post this to the Instagram. I'm going to post
on.
a beacon of that fucking apple grove on Satori Mountain and post it to the Instagram. Anyone wants to know? I'm thinking you're going to be amazed if you go there and see how many fucking apple trees there are. And you will spend the exact same amount of time.
Unlock the enjoyment of Tears of the Kingdom. Find your way to this apple grove and just get harvesting, guys. That's
I love
really
an apple.
it. All right.
What about character development here? Because it's the same. This is the one grievance for me about this franchise and about this game. How many times can Ganondorf get fucking obliterated by a teenage swordsman and a princess before he maybe gives up?
Yeah, but also like he needs to reassess his strategy because you've always got these like quite nice cutscenes at the start of Zelda, and Ganon every time seems to want to get his hands on Zelda. I get it; she's the princess of time, like whatever. But he thinks he's succeeded in doing so, and then at the end of the game, he's like, "Oh no, foiled again by this one." Maybe go after that guy as well. Let's get after Link. Let's have like a boss fight early on again, and being like, I think every time has failed, and it's always because of this one guy.
I love his open narrative as well. Every time at the beginning, he's like, I'm gonna get you this time." It's like, I don't know, bro. Like, I would love it if the next game he comes out and be like, okay, maybe, I don't know. I'm just going to try my best here.
Yeah.
Link, I see you're still kicking. You've been 12 years old for the last 30 years. I'm probably not going to win this one, but let's see what happens.
It'd be nice to see Link give some smack talk to Ganondorf.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't talk, does he?
Yeah.
He's fucking mute.
You know.
But is that... coming back to the boys, just to, Kamiko...
Yeah,
says her first words, and I thought the way that they did that was quite well, because quite good,
quite well done,
well done.
I got you back.
What did she even say? I can't even remember that.
Like after seasons and seasons of there being that chemistry between her and Frenchie, and then they're separated, and then she comes out with her kind of first words. So it can be used powerfully. Is that ever on the books for Zelda?
I mean, I said it before, I'll say it again. That franchise, Link needs to fucking glow up and God of War style. I want to see Link.
He needs to hit the gym.
Out.
Yeah, he needs to hit the gym.
How's this skinny ass white boy fucking up this god who can apparently morph into dragons?
But like that's who he is. His story arc is he's the prodigal son. He's always going to get it done.
Yeah,
he's got the Master Sword. It's
He's
it's
so
set in
thin
stone.
though. Just do some.
Do some bench press.
Hit the lat.
So
pull
with
down.
all the games, is the storyline a continuation across all of them, or
It's
is
always-
it supposed to be a rinse repeat where it's like a singular event with just similar characters?
See, the story stays the same. The environment changes. Hyrule changes. Some people come and go, but the story is always the same. It's Ganondorf trying to take over Hyrule. I don't know why he wants to do it so badly.
So does Link remember all his previous
We don't
adventures?
know because Link doesn't.
Well, yeah, the story at its heart stays the same in what the goal is of Link. That the princess is gone again and Link needs to save her, and in doing so saves Hyrule.
What's with Nintendo games always being there's a princess?
I was just thinking Super Mario.
Yeah,
same thing.
What's with that? Why are they
Sexist
so fussed with
motherfuckers,
princesses?
like always just highlighting this damsel in distress.
Yeah.
But like the thing I like about this Zelda, and I think the storyline is one of the things that sets it apart, is it dives into the creation of Hyrule, like its beginnings, who was there when that happens, as part of this storyline. This is a bit of a spoiler, but Zelda travels back in time to when that is going on.
Right.
And those two stories kind of intertwine. And the way that you discover that is by finding the tears, the dragon tears of the kingdom, which is for its namesake.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And no one will do this in the same order. So you're uncovering little pieces of this puzzle as you go.
Chronologically.
And eventually the payoff and the reveal and how it all sticks together is quite a good one.
And the reveal is ultimately, without a huge spoiler, is that she's kind of the hero of the story.
Despite being absent for the story.
Despite being absent for most of it. I mean, you don't play her, so she has to be absent. You played Link.
Well, there we go. Wouldn't that be a nice thing?
Imagine playing...
Can we get involved in both sides of this story?
Oh, if I was playing Zelda, I don't know if I'd
Zelda.
play anymore.
What's wrong with playing with Zelda?
I'm fucking kidding.
If you look at The Witcher 3, when there's some elements where you play as Ciri.
Yeah.
And you're involved in her story arc.
Yeah, but it's still playing a Witcher though, isn't it? Because that's her entire fucking...
No, but I mean,
mission
it'd be like
is to become a Witcher.
GTA, do a camera pull out and then you go in on Zelda, like, what was that game I was playing recently where, Spider-Man 2, you're playing as the two Spider-Men and then you had a whole thing with Mary Jane,
you play as Mary Jane, do you?
You do, yeah.
Yeah, and you go to work and you write some stories.
Okay, well, walk me through that one because...
No, mate, you need to listen.
You should listen
You
to the
need to listen to
podcast.
episode 20.
You would have heard all about it.
Yeah, you would have. Because we unpack
I've been
this.
proper called out here.
We unpack
Has
this
the
in
ability
great
to
detail.
come on the
In a lot
podcast,
of
doesn't
detail.
listen to it. But hey, I'm busy. I do try and listen
You're fine.
to most.
You're fine. What's next on our pillars?
Okay, well, so we've kind of, I feel, done a lot of general chat, but
We have.
do we go in specific? So storyline, world building, we kind of touched on storyline just there. The world building, I feel like you were slight negative on it. So give us a rating out of 10 on that one.
So they kind of balance each other off, I suppose, here, because the storyline is extreme. I think it's quite good. It's one of the best aspects of this game, and then the world building. Yes, it's still great. It's a beautiful world, and I enjoyed playing the game.
Stay storyline. What do you got out of 10?
Oh, storyline.
Well, no, I mean, it is both. So storyline, world building. I mean, if it's
Is
plus, it's. I mean, they're the counterbalances.
Yeah,
so
right.
I'll go an 8 for this.
8.
It's purely because I think storyline would be a 9, and I'd be giving world building.
I would have said like a 7.5. I would have said like a 7.5. It's kind of... Yeah, you're right. In terms of the last 5 games, it is different a little bit, but it's still rather predictable. You know what the end's going to be. It's going to be your fight with Ganondorf. But you're right. I think it gets points for, hey, actually, you know what? Let's share quite a bit of the history of Hyrule. Let's follow Zelda through her little journey in the past. Yeah, so I think it gets points for that. So yeah, I'd say 7.5, 8.
Okay, 7.5, 8 for storyline, world building, feel and mechanics.
This is like Zelda's feel and mechanics has always been extremely smooth. The battling, particularly when they brought in the ability to dodge and do the
parry. The flurry.
The flurry. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, that's quite good. So it's got a very unique feel to it, but it's a feel that I love. You know, the control you have through those battles and the smoothness of kind of running and then the horseback.
I think this is a game that would really benefit from a parry, like a Sekiro parry.
A proper shield, bang them away, get them off stance.
Because it's still very much is turn based, and it's still very much stay out of harm's way until you can actually have a go. Which is where I would like Link is a swordsman. I would like
coffee.
No,
I would like.
mine.
Oh, I keep sipping it. Sorry about that.
Why are you drinking my coffee?
I would like combat. I would like combat in this game that's actually more of a sword fight. That's
Isn't
more
there,
parry.
there is parry in this, isn't it? Where you can get shot from a projectile and then you can hit it back.
Yeah,
with
but
them.
that's what one
when
enemy
they're
builds with the
shooting, yeah.
shield, and it's more of a deflection. It's not.
But even in close quarters, you can't parry them off in the same sort of motion. Like from memory of Breath of the Wild, I just thought that there was.
No, it's a dodge. You time your
it?
dodge correctly to do a
Ah,
flurry.
okay.
It's not actually a
It kind
parry.
of slows time and it gives you.
It's dodge based,
Yeah.
which is
Right,
where
right,
I'm
right.
starting to realize about myself is I really like parry based sword combat. That's why I fucking love Sekiro.
Yeah.
I wish Elden Ring integrated.
Well, Elden Ring, you have
Parry.
to get the timing.
Yeah, but you have to have
Timing
the
was typical
you have to
there,
have the
jeez.
right Ash of War on the right shield. You
Yeah,
can't do it with
yeah.
all with all
I have
weapons.
given up on that shit. I've just got the glintstone shield in front of me now, and I just keep it up and then stab through it. I am rolling through that game now because of that build.
Okay,
And
good.
it's incredibly hard to get it right on Elden Ring.
It is, yeah. Those
And it
clips you see
boxes-
online of people doing it, you're like, how many attempts did it take to
Yeah,
get that perfect clip?
And it boxes you into a very particular build that if you change, your parry is no longer valid. You can't really use it.
Yeah. So field mechanics, give us a rating out of 10.
But the other thing I would say here is that item joining thing, the feeling mechanics for that when you're kind of flying something or driving something, I don't think they nailed that. So
No.
I'll go 6.5, 7.
I was going
because that was
7.
such a large
I was
aspect of the
going
game,
7,
and I
yeah.
just don't think it was
7.
great.
7.
Fair. Okay.
Love it.
Challenge and entertainment.
1.
Whoa.
I'm kidding. I'm
Gee.
kidding. No, see, this is.
Entertainment's there.
I love that we do these two together because entertainment through the roof again. I mean, you came into this game with an element of like, this may be similar to Breath of the Wild, but at the same time, that's what I was excited for. Because
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild is a game I'd play a third time through. And I would love to like have short-term amnesia and play it again for the first time. Like it's such a fucking good
Came out
game.
in 2017. You need a bit longer, I think.
Yeah,
the
maybe
amnesia,
midterm
yeah.
amnesia. But then you jump into Tears of the Kingdom and you kind of look for similarities between the two because that's what you're looking forward to. So I think in terms of entertainment, I think they redid it really well. Yeah, okay, maybe it presents itself as a DLC, but for me it was a full sequel.
Yeah.
And I think there was enough variety in there to make entertainment levels really high. Challenge, on the other hand, I don't think I've been challenged by a Zelda game since Majora's Mask.
Well, I mean, like, Nintendo's
still
not
trying to
exactly
get through that.
notorious for it being challenging. Like,
No.
It's,
And we spoke about this last week, is that Nintendo has done so well in making games that aren't too challenging, very entertaining.
I mean, I feel like Nintendo does such a great job of making a game for everybody.
Yes.
They're not making a game for specific groups like a Dark Souls, Elden Ring kind of thing.
No.
It's like we want every single person, adult, child, man, woman, to enjoy playing these games.
Yep.
Which, if you do that, then challenge kind of goes out the window because you want to make it
Exactly. That's
palatable.
very
Which is why I think Breath of the Wild was so successful, because it was them acknowledging that the player base that grew up with things like Ocarina of Time, and I think a lot of people would be in that boat when that was their childhood, that was their largely their introduction to gaming, among other things. And then you look at Breath of the Wild and say, okay, we understand that those people are now in their late 20s, early 30s,
And they've gotten a lot better
if
at
not older,
this.
they're better at gaming. So here's that. But still, you could be a kid and play this, and that's fine.
Yeah. I'd give it a 7.8.
7.8 is very specific.
I just feel like it's not an 8 and it's not a 7.5.
7.8 it
entertainment
is.
challenge.
No, I'm happy with that.
Split the diff, yeah. Character dev and build.
There's little. We were touching on this. There's little character development for Zelda. Other than you get more hearts, you eventually find the Master
And
Sword.
a lot of the armor is the same.
The armor. This is coming to that. The armor upgrading identical.
Identical.
It was identical.
Yeah, right.
Same with the fairy fountains.
Exactly.
Identical.
And playing Breath of the Wild and playing it, I played it a lot. I knew. I wasn't excited to go out and find new armor sets. I knew it really wasn't worth it. I knew the armor set that would be the strongest at the end. So you just get that and you upgrade that. That's it.
And look, there was some new piece. You do like Misko's treasure hunt. So there were some new pieces of armor, but they weren't useful.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They weren't super useful. I never found myself wearing them. Because Zelda does environmental challenges so fucking well, and they've been doing it so fucking well since their first game. Like you go to the mountains where the Gorons are, you can't enter that place in your normal tunic. So you have to be changing armor. So like you can't stay on one piece throughout the lifetime of it, and they need to reuse things. So I think that this game actually really fell over here.
Yeah, this sounding like
to me,
low
it's
score on
like
this
coming
one.
in at like a 5.5 and a 6.
Yeah, barely a pass.
All right, let's give it a 5. I feel like it would actually really benefit from a bit of a fucking skill tree. Where you actually
100%.
level up and upgrade. Is there experience? Do you get experience in this? I don't think you do.
You don't get experience, and something that bugs me is, and this is actually what bugs me about Nintendo as a whole, is that you know how with Xbox you've got your gamer score and each game creates objectives that there's nothing like that in Nintendo games ever. Yeah. You don't have a gamer score that's assigned to your user. Yeah. There's nothing that, like, really, your achievements in this game are just doing side missions and getting a fucking rice pudding for doing it. Like,
doesn't even need to be. Thank God for that.
Yeah, right. You know. Like, but it's so true. That's what you get. You don't.
Well, it's like
and there's no way to show that off to the gamer base.
Don't get me started on the fucking Korok seeds.
I mean, like, that's the thing. If you 100% these games. You really shot yourself in the dick.
Well, you get shit all. They laugh at you openly for doing that. What do you get for getting all the Korok seeds? You get like a
Korok seed themed tunic or something.
You get a stupid
and then you're like, okay, well, I worked so hard for that, I'll put it on. And then all of a sudden you're getting one-shotted by enemies because it does no defense. It's purely aesthetic.
This game gives you nothing for the achievements. Yeah. Even if you collect all of the torches in the underground, you get the most redundant, useless piece of thing that you get. It doesn't do anything. It's like just getting like a medal.
I just think it's actually rude. Like, I'm sorry, Nintendo.
It's frustrating.
Imagine the first guy who bought Breath of the Wild and was like, I can't wait to play this. I'm going to be the first one to collect all the Korok seeds and I'll post about it online. And he gets a fucking tunic.
No, it's just a prompt that comes up on the screen saying thanks.
He's
that's basically what they may as well do.
I'd rather have spent time picking apples than fucking doing Korok seeds.
I mean,
I knew we were going to throw back to that at some point.
Go to the Apple Grove. You will not be disappointed.
All right, loot and extras. Give us a rating.
I'm not done on this.
Oh, okay.
Bloody,
I don't think we've
stop
given
trying to move me on. This isn't your podcast. No, because we're talking about like a character build and having some kind of skill tree. I think that would be amazing. But something I think would be even easier to input is we're talking about these tunics, these aesthetic kind of wearables. Assign some ability to them.
Well, no, hang on. There was, though. Like you got the frog suit. That helped you climb in the wet.
Oh, thank God for that. Well, there's a million other things that...
There are some... If you get a set bonus, you can be stealth mode in some
there are some, but it can be amped up. Like, if I get, like, the electric build thing... Give me a thunderbolt that I can throw.
Yeah, I agree.
Make it a more attacking thing. Change up the dynamics of the battling based on what we're wearing. And we've spoken about Elden Ring a little bit. That's one of the things that is incredible in that game. Yeah. Is your experience playing that game can be one of an infinite number of things based on the way you've set up your character and
how you've
what that means in
terms
of
together.
How you then need to fight the enemies.
I think that's why I got a 5.
Yeah.
Oh, we rated that already.
Yeah, we did.
5 is fair. All right.
I think 5's fair.
Yeah, okay.
So, loot and extras, are we ready, Carl?
Loot and extras. I mean, it's... The thing is that their character build really kind of ties into this pillar as well. Because all the extras that you get basically are armor. I mean, there were a few new weapons, but not really.
I think this brings in the item joining. I don't even know what we call that mechanic.
Yeah, that's definitely an extra.
The fuse.
Yeah, the fusing is on our devices. Yeah.
The idea of that was new, and I think it was quite good. And like it was expansive in terms of what you could join together. You know, I remember seeing a video where someone had set up some kind of manufacturing product line where he's then throwing live chickens into it. And this man is farming these chickens and then just picking up fully cooked birds at the end of the production line.
I love shit like that.
And I'm looking at that thinking that's brilliant and also a little statistic. This man is...
Did you see me start playing Korok golf? So you know in the game how you had to get one child of the forest to their mate? I built this Zonai device, this schematic, which was like 3 springs, a sled, and then a third spring on the sled. And I would create it, and then I'd put the fucking Korok dude in it, hit it, and spring them off into the distance. And I'd play Korok golf with their mate being the hole. And it was the funnest fucking time I had on the game.
It was the most fun thing in the game was abusing these Korok seeds, to be honest. Like,
I've got it on my Instagram. It got like 600 likes on Reddit when I posted it.
I have to think that they set this up for us to do that because there so many times you'd walk past as a Korok, you'd be like, "Can you get me back to my
bring
friend?"
in a bit of creativity,
and you're like, "All right, well, I'm just going to fuse you to the back of my horse because I'm not carrying you, fat shit. I'm not carrying you there. What the hell?" And then it's complaining and whinging the whole way there because he's being dragged by the back of a horse.
I did the same thing,
and it's pretty funny.
And you hear them go, "Oh, wee, ow, the whole way up, and you're like, "Whoa." God, but I don't have time for this. I'm on my way somewhere else. Exactly. You just got in the fucking way.
It's like, oh yeah, the 100%er in me wants to get you back home, but it's not going to be a comfortable journey for you. Like, let's be honest.
So those things where you see it, you see the Korok and you're like, nah, and then you get 100 meters up the thing, you're like, fine.
Did you ever
and then you come back.
forget about that? Like, you're on your way taking this Korok seed back to his friend, and then something else distracts you, and you're like, oh well, I'm going to go deal with that, and then you remember it's like, oh, I've still got this Korok seed attached to my horse, this poor thing,
and he's just like,
and then you end up throwing it into some kind of fire attraction. And
to be fair,
so far away now from where this
dude, when I was playing Korok golf, there are a few mountain fucking holes that I had to do there, and I lost a few of them.
So you're setting up a round of 18.
Yeah, I lost a few of them
in Hyrule. That's what Hyrule means.
I was like, I had no idea. Luckily, they respawn back in their main spot every other day. I'm going to give it a 7 then.
A 7, thank you. I was going to ask. All right, 7 for this. Carl, do you agree with the 7?
Because I think you're right. The Zonai devices were a good extra.
It's good. There's a little bit of fine tuning to do there, but I think I kind of ran out of patience for it. I didn't have heaps of creativity to go and see what I could build, but I thoroughly enjoyed seeing what other people came up with, and I thought just the fact that they put something in there to allow for that, I think needs to be
creative
commended.
Creative outlet. Yeah, it was a good idea.
So I mean, this gives it a final score of 6.96.
See, I feel like I'm a much harsher rater.
No, I think it's fair.
I mean, the character dev build, I mean, a 5 on that was bottomed it out. Like,
I mean, if you were to run
6.9.
Breath of the Wild through the same criteria, it would be much higher.
I think
it'd be like an 8.79.
Yeah,
because they did it all first, right?
Yeah.
Like this lost a fair few points because it came in second, and a lot of it was like we just spoke about the upgrades. The arm exactly the fucking same.
Yeah.
They took a big risk with the 3 different map areas, and from what we've discovered today is not everyone loved that.
Yeah.
But I like it. That's a risk. It's a good risk. It was something new. Maybe it only entertained you for 10 hours of gaming hours, but it still was something.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't just exactly the same. So I'm all about risks like that.
Fair.
But
so instead of doing questions from a hat, I feel like having Kyle on as a guest, we should do questions for Kyle.
Yeah, okay.
And putting him on the spot because he's
I
hope
you've got one ready to go.
Yeah, I've got 2 ready to go. Okay. Well, because, we've obviously spoken about Kyle.
Can I answer them as well?
No, because you've already answered them previously.
Oh.
Right. Yeah, okay. Yeah,
so the first question is, what was the first game you ever played?
It's going back a long way. I think it would have been like Mario Kart, really, or something like
Gauntlet
that.
Dark Legacy. Remember playing that?
It rings a bell.
Well, we'd have to go back way earlier than the PS2. We'd have to go 64.
Yeah, it has to be 64.
Was that the first console you had?
It would have been Mario Kart, like followed shortly by Super Mario 64 and
Crash
then Ocarina of Time. I think I'm not too sure what the order of those came out, but look, really the one that stands out and probably why I'm here today is the Ocarina of Time. Because I would have played that through like 20, 30 times as a kid.
Yeah.
Like that was
hell of a
game.
There. Man, the iron boots, mirror shields, the hook shot.
Yeah.
That's the level of creativity they need to bring back.
Oh, it's incredible. Like they really unlocked, and that's something I think that Tears of the Kingdom could have is that I loved the aspect of Ocarina of Time where it's like you needed to get this item, this particular weapon to advance the story to this particular area. I was like, whether it's the hook shot, so now I can get over this crevice or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I loved that.
Yeah. You know what I've just realized as well is you could dive in those games. You could swim and dive. You couldn't do that. In Breath of the Wild, the Tears of the Kingdom.
It's actually
you
taken
could
away.
Swim,
interesting.
But you couldn't dive.
Yeah, right.
Can you not get underwater?
No, you can't.
So the other question is your top 3 favorite games.
Favorite games. Elden Ring's number 1. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that game.
Yeah.
The next 2 is a bit more difficult to say. I've got to be thinking about. I think Red Dead 2.
Yeah.
So my games, I'm a bit more niche in the games that I play. I love like a big, expansive RPG, like those 2 that I've mentioned, or something that's a little bit more repetitive, like a battle royale, something that attaches with it a stat or something I can improve on, whether it be a KD,
like a grind.
Yeah, like a grind. I can just spend endless time, or even like chess, where you got your ELO rating.
Yeah, exactly.
Those things kind of addict me, and I don't stray too far from those type of games. So 3. So yeah, Red Dead would be in there, and I don't know, Tiff, what do you reckon? Was there anything coming to your mind?
Witcher? What, for number 1?
The Witcher, yeah. The Witcher's, I thought about that. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I would put in the top 3 instead of that. But that's definitely...
It's interesting that Ocarina of Time isn't in there.
Ocarina of Time, but the thing
sometimes
is,
would I go back that far?
The nostalgia is certainly there, and it was born from Ocarina of Time. But if I put it in today's kind of metrics, is it still... It was such a groundbreaking game at the time, but if you apply it to what you've got now, it's an old game.
Yeah.
If it's based on
it's hard
ours,
to like that game at the moment. You just like fucking hate.
Although, I mean, you obviously ranted about it in last episode of the
the monetization.
And I sent that screenshot of their release about we're listening to you, we're going to do something about it and change it up. So
I think it has to be The Witcher though. Like I love that. You got me that game. I think so. Yeah, you bought it for me. I spent so much time, and that almost reintroduced me in my adult years. To the RPG kind of big open world games. I love that. Yeah. And they're working on. They've put a whole dev team on the next one now. I'm very excited for that. Yeah. That's going to be epic.
Love an RPG.
I think we all do.
Nice. There you go.
Are they my only two questions?
Episode. Yeah. Well, just
first
to give
some
taste, of who you are and how long you've been gaming for, etc.
Yeah. That was good.
Yeah. It was a pleasure, guys. Thank you for having me on.
Thanks for coming.
Up next, we're back to reviews.
Yeah. Have you got a game in mind?
I got a few.
I'm struggling with Deathloop at the minute. I don't know if I can see that.
We could do that, but I've got another one that's that I might
locked and loaded for.
Yeah,
nice.
I might even navigate into the Bethesda space again. Go with Doom.
What was that one? Oh God, I'm trying to remember it. There's like a lot of sneaking around in it. Jeez, fucking I don't know. Let's finish the episode.
I was going to say like Assassin's Creed.
Well, correct me. No, it's one of those.
The Grounded. I already did that.
Nah, there's two of them, and anyway, let's talk about it next.
Yeah, let's talk about it offline. Thanks for listening. Don't be an NPC.
Keep leveling up.
Thanks, everyone.